I'm Judith Lewis, and welcome to the SERP Show.
Hi, I'm Julia Logan, and today we're talking about the CBD SERPs.
Yeah, they're really interesting. And of course, as always, we don't have any clients in this area. So we're just looking at it as two outside observers. None of our clients are involved in this space.
And nothing that we say is actually to be taken as an endorsement of any particular brands we mention or anything like that, because most of these brands we haven't even tried. So
Exactly.
we
Yeah,
can't really vouch for their quality or recommend them or anything. So just take it as pure informational stuff and not a recommendation of anything.
of course. No hacked sites this time, though. We didn't find any hacked sites. So it looks like, unlike the Viagra SERPs, the CBD SERPs are a little bit more ethical. Or the hacked sites just aren't able to struggle through the other people doing excellent work.
Yes. So let's take a look at the actual SERPs. So
There we go.
first we looked at the most general query you could come up
Yeah.
in this vertical, just CBD.
Yeah. It's sort of like before you go shopping. What is
Yep.
it? What is it all about? What's it for? That sort of thing. And we can see here in the SERP, it's some really interesting. And look at that featured snippet you noticed.
Yep. First of all, before we proceed, Google really thinks this is a purely informational query.
That's true.
Yeah, and yes, this featured snippet is like no other featured snippet I've seen before. This is really interesting. So they've got this bit of information from healthline.com.
Mm,
So something that actually seems to at least make sense. But also they have a carousel of images. And
yes.
these are coming from Google image search for CBD. There we go. This is what we're seeing in that featured snippet. This is
Yeah.
really interesting. So while I have seen featured snippets with more than one image coming from more than one different sources, this is a first for me. They are coming from Google image search.
So it's a carousel of images in the featured snippet, making it even more attractive to click. So
Yeah.
we don't know that those pictures are from the image search as a normal surfer, let's say, as a my next door neighbor or similar. They just see that, they see all the pictures, and then they click
They are
into the
all from
featured
different
snippet.
sites. Yeah, they are
Yep.
all from different sites. One of them is actually from Healthline.
Hmm.
The others are from all the other sites.
Yeah.
And the same happens in this knowledge graph panel that we have here.
Yep.
Also, more images links to the actual image search.
Yep.
And here we have a snippet, informational snippet from Wikipedia.
Hmm.
And then they quote some CBD companies, which we assume to be the actual producers,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
necessarily distributors or retailers. And also all the other terms related to CBD that people might be searching for.
Yep.
So this is quite interesting. And then also quite prominent right after the featured snippet is this very useful, in our opinion, people also ask block with
Yep.
very legitimate questions that people will be asking if they are just doing their research about CBD, if they are at this purely information collecting stage.
Yeah.
So what
And
is
they really
CBD?
help.
Yep, they do. Does CBD really do anything? Is CBD a drug? Does CBD oil get you high? And so on and so on. And then as you start looking, then more questions pop up like, will CBD show on drug tests? What drugs should not be taken with CBD? And so on and so on. All legitimate, useful questions.
Yep.
Nothing seems manipulated or like something that doesn't really belong here. And actually, the answers,
Yeah.
they look like something at least remotely useful.
Exactly. Unlike when we were looking at bingo before,
Yes.
where some of them did look really artificially created, these are genuine. And if you were to back it up with keyword research, you would probably find that that's what people are genuinely looking for.
Yes. So this is something we really, really like about this SERP.
Yep.
But as we go further to the organic results, let me remind you that we are using a UK IP
Yep.
and a private window in the browser. So this
Yep.
is influenced by our previous searching history, and these SERPs should be at least theoretically tailored to this UK IP that we are using. But what we are seeing here, what surprises us, something that we found really strange right away when looking at these SERPs, is that most of the results, if not all of the results, are the US results,
Yeah.
mostly. So basically, we've got this article from
Yep.
harvard.edu.
Yep.
So yeah, then
Helpline
we
is a
have
US
Helpline,
site. Yep.
yes, which is the same as the featured snippets.
Well, it's a
So
different article,
basically,
but same site.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, basically, Healthline being in the featured snippet does not completely remove it from the SERPs, from the
Hmm.
organic SERPs.
Well, they probably had that
Present here.
separate article so that they could get the second option.
Yep, yeah, which is good on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But again, it's a US site.
yeah, it's a US site, but shown to a UK searcher.
Yeah. Surely there has to be
WebMD,
something
another
in the
US
UK.
site. Yep.
So WebMD is a US website, but luckily Boots.com has partnered with them, so at least there's some UK connection. But really, most of this is US based.
Right, right. Actually, health.com, canzon.com,
Yeah. Oh,
Wikipedia, well, that's universal.
yeah.
So I'm
That's
not
everywhere.
complaining about having Wikipedia for a purely informational query.
And then
That
finally,
belongs. Yep. Royal CBD, projectcbd.org.
I
So
think
based,
Royal CBD was American, wasn't it? Yeah, US made
so yeah,
award-winning CBD. So CIBDOL is the first UK
yeah, it's the
search result.
only UK sites in these SERPs. That's the only site targeting UK. So CBD oil, UK and Swiss purity. So basically, maybe not specifically targeting UK, but at least mentioning UK, yeah?
Yeah, yeah. Which means that it lends it gives us an understanding why people type in CBD oil UK so
Yeah.
frequently that it's a search suggest because obviously this is not a good result for people who are looking for CBD oil to buy who are located here in the UK. So it just it shows you that people's behavior is changing because of this bad result.
Right, right. So if we look at the suggestions, since we mentioned them now, we can see all sorts of queries. Very interesting. Again, this is something perhaps purely informational as well. So
Hmm.
people are searching for the uses for different uses of CBD, like for pain, for anxiety. Benefits chart, that's another good one. Is
Hmm.
CBD oil legal? That is something along the lines those people also ask questions. This is quite a legitimate query.
Yep.
CBD oil Amazon, because Amazon apparently sells it.
Yeah.
CBD meaning, so this is again somebody trying to figure out what this whole CBD thing all about.
Yep.
So yeah, but if we were to search for something, some products that we are looking to buy, we are forced to clarify our query and search
Yep.
for example, CBD oil UK,
Yep.
which is the next SERP we will look at. So CBD oil UK, now it looks better for a UK visitor because most of the sites here now are the UK sites.
Yeah, exactly. Finally.
Finally, yeah. So this is actually pretty good for people looking to buy the products because these will be sites that will shop to them locally, that will sell locally, and they are the ones targeting the UK shoppers.
And it's like going back in time with these
Yep.
exact match domain names and
Yes.
also our discovery about a little bit of advertorial fun in games, but we're
Yes.
not going to out any sites. We're
Yes.
not going to expose them, but it is kind of like going back in time a little bit. So you and I were both really excited because we were seeing
Yes.
lovely old-fashioned techniques.
Yes, so basically all the way back to 2013, if anybody of our viewers remembers the story with Interflora and their
Mm,
advertorials scandal, sort of.
yep.
So
Not a great
yes,
year for wine.
right. So we're not going to actually out the sites using advertorials. All we're going to say is that at least in these SERPs, in this vertical, maybe not in this particular SERP, but somewhere in this vertical, advertorials definitely work. And
Yep.
somebody somewhere here is doing an excellent job maximizing the value of those advertorials to the level you hardly even see these days.
Yeah, absolutely.
They are
Really
doing something
impressive work.
completely smart. They are doing something completely, and that's something very beneficial to them. But we're not going to go any further into this because we really don't want to out them.
Yeah, and we haven't tried their product, but
Yep,
I did like the look of the information,
yep,
and the site itself did seem to be an exceptionally good one.
yep.
So,
Looks
um,
like a legitimate business. So
yeah,
yes, yeah, we're
it
not going
really
to.
does. So I would say that if you discover them, please don't out them because it
Yeah,
really looks like a company doing
they
good.
actually deserve to be there. Unlike maybe some fly-by-night enterprises just
Yeah,
buying some links somewhere and just ranking their, but not really providing proper products or maybe even scamming their shoppers or whatever.
exactly.
So yes, it's best to have something like this ranking than something much worse in quality and much scammier in behavior. So
Exactly.
yeah. That said, let's get back to our SERPs. So
Yeah.
again, we have people also ask.
Yep.
It's also a pretty legitimate people also ask set of questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, yeah, like we said, EMDs are making a powerful comeback here. CBD
Absolutely.
oil, we looked for CBD oil UK. We got cbdoil.co.uk ranking number one. Lovely. I'm not saying that they are ranking just because they are an AMD. There's more than one factor to any site ranking these days. It's not
Of course.
as simple as black and white as that anymore.
Mm,
So the next one is Holland and Barrett, which is also to be suspected. I mean,
yeah,
be really disappointed if I didn't spot Holland and Barrett in this SERP at all.
absolutely.
You would expect them to be here because they
Yeah.
sell CBD oil and they are a legitimate retail shop that you could buy from both online and offline on the high
Yeah.
street.
They're a national chain. They need to be
Yes.
there.
Yeah, they absolutely deserve to be there, so that's all legitimate.
Yeah,
Get the dose. This seems like some blog, perhaps an affiliate, something like
maybe. And there's
some.
nothing bad with affiliates ranking well. As we saw
Yes,
in Bingo, we're both very, very pro affiliates. Some of us
yes,
were affiliates. You still are affiliates.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm really, really pro affiliate. I have no issue with them ranking well at all.
If they do a perfect job, if they provide quality information, if they
Yep.
help people make the choice,
Yep.
then why not? There's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with them ranking.
Yep.
So cbdoilsuk.com, that's another EMD here.
Oh, so old fashioned, but it works.
Yeah, so old fashioned, but I mean, it's like we're back to 2013 or something. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with EMD's ranking per se.
Yeah, as long as the quality is there and they're not being spammy, then I'm
Mm,
fine with that. Cannabidol, that's actually an established brand
yep,
here in the UK. People outside the CBD industry might not be aware of them, but you'll see them over and over again. They have a slick site. They have been around for a while. So I would have been not upset. I would have been disappointed in Google for having not recognized them as having some age, authority, and trustworthiness in the SERP.
yep, fair enough, fair enough. Then we've got something that is not a retailer, but discovermagazine.com. And this is like a review of the best brands or something like this.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, maybe,
It helps you
maybe,
make the decision.
maybe. Yeah, provacan.co.uk, which is another shop.
Yep.
blesscbd.co.uk,
Which is such
which
a cute
is,
name.
yeah, cute name, and also it's a brand. It's actually a brand, and we've seen that site.
Yep.
Again, this is not an endorsement. Neither of us have used their products, but
No.
they seem like a legitimate business, and they have a nice site where
Yep.
everything is properly displayed and
Exactly.
everything explained about their products.
And we can
And
see the percentages and how much
yeah,
more expensive each step up in a percentage is.
and also, when we looked at this particular site, they made a spectacular progress, actually. They
Yeah.
are one of the newer brands on here. And yeah, we can easily call them a brand because they are a brand.
Yeah.
They are an actual business producing their own product and selling it. So yeah, they are a brand. And they are a new site. They are just a year old. And
Mm.
they've done spectacularly. This is Spyful for those not familiar with this. And this is the summary of the rankings for all the keywords that Spyful is tracking in the UK around
Yep.
the vertical. So this is really impressive. And I mean, some of those sites out there may be older than them, may
Yep.
be stronger than them, may have bigger budgets. I don't know. But I mean, like we said, we're not current players in this particular vertical, so we don't really know who's who here. But
Yeah.
just by the look of it, this nice little family site managed to outrank quite a few of those.
Yeah.
And they are growing spectacularly. They are growing pretty nicely.
Yeah. You, maybe they'll outrank Holland and Barrett one day.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, imagine the budget that Holland and Barrett has versus this one product kind of brand.
Yeah.
Holland and Barrett sells everything. For those not familiar, they sell everything from products for bodybuilders
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to organic products to
Mm-hmm.
teas to like face care, hand care.
Everything. Yep.
Yeah, like healthy foods,
Yep.
some gluten-free foods,
Mm-hmm.
lactose-free products, and so on and so on. So basically, there's a huge range that they are covering, and
Yeah.
that's a huge national brand.
Absolutely.
Actually,
Yeah.
multinational because Holland and Barrett exists in multiple countries. So yes, that's really impressive that they are able to compete with somebody like this. They are
Yeah.
still at the bottom of the first page of the SERPs, but seeing their spectacular growth, I wouldn't be surprised if they keep moving to the top of the page.
Yep.
So yeah,
Very true.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then also there's Mirror. So at least they are outranking the
News.
Mirror.
Yeah.
So it's I mean those who work in the SERPs heavy with the newspaper sites will know how difficult it is to outrank the newspaper sites, even if you are the actual specialist provider site for whatever it is.
Yeah.
And there is an article in one of those large mainstream media sites covering your topic, how difficult it is to outrank them, even if they don't really sell it or they don't
Yeah.
give the visitors the option to buy something or go
Exactly.
straight to the provider or something like that.
Yep.
So at least the fact that they outrank mirror.co.uk is already speaking in their favor. So yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
So
yeah.
that's good.
One
And then,
thing that that we found curious there is the fact that all these different shops, all these different providers, like if we open a few different providers, we can
uh-huh.
see. So this one has the milligrams as an
Yep.
indicator of the product strength. Like
Yep.
if we are looking for the oil, because they also have something else, CBD balm, which is something completely different.
Different. Yeah.
If we are looking at CBD oil specifically, they have this 500 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams, 1,800 milligrams. Whereas if we look at, say, this site, they have percentage, like 20%,
Exactly.
I know as somebody who's been using this for treating my bad migraines that 20% is rather strong. But how do you compare this percentage? So this have 40%, but okay, this site actually has both percentage and the milligrams.
Yeah. But if you
And
don't
also,
have that, then how do you
yes,
find it?
yeah. How do you find out? Say if you go to Holland and Bird, what you have is just percentage.
Yeah.
5%, 5%, 2.75%, 2.75%, and different size of bottles.
Yeah.
They come in. Okay, so how do you compare? So if you were trying to shop for this product, how would you compare the strengths of different brands if they have completely different marking on their products?
Yeah. I mean, if it's me, because of course I'm
Yeah,
nerdy search person,
yeah.
I go to Google and I type in looking for a calculator.
Yeah, so basically, the next query that we've checked is CBD strength calculator, because I believe quite a few people will be confused with all these different dosages and strength indications and so on and so on. So if you search for CBD strength calculator, quite a few sites actually make it a point to have some content covering the question of calculating the strength of your CBD product. So there are people also ask questions here. I
Yeah.
really like how Google is being helpful with showing all the legitimate questions. And people also ask blogs in all of these SERPs that we are looking at today.
Yeah. So
So this,
important too.
yeah, this is really important. This is something that helps people make their way out there and find their way between all these misleading markings and all the different types of products. So yeah,
Yeah.
quite a few sites actually provide calculators. So we found this site that Judith has decided was completely ugly and looked like
I'm so
something
judgmental.
from 1990s or something. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, it
to
looks so old.
yeah, to me, it actually does the job. They have this guide explaining how to calculate the strength and different ratings of the strength and what these numbers actually mean. And then they have this table that's really useful,
Yeah.
which gives you the typical size of the bottle versus milligrams on the label and
Yeah.
what percentage that corresponds to, so that if a person is looking at a product and sees milligrams and sees the size of the bottle, they can check using this little table and convert this into the percentage terms. And that's
Exactly.
how they convert this and compare different products. So this is really handy. But some sites even go beyond that and they have actual calculator.
Yeah.
So this has an article. So I can assume that this sort of content probably gets them quite a few links. Both of these sites, this and this. So we haven't checked this, but we've looked at some other links, which we will talk about in a minute. So
Hmm.
this is an actual calculator where you select the size of your bottle. Oh, that's not very handy.
No.
My gosh.
Can you imagine going one by one?
Yeah. But I mean,
Oh,
probably you could edit manually, so like 20. Oh, no, the milligrams per bottle. So that would be like at least 500.
yep.
And
And then we
then,
were looking at 10 ml bottles. So,
yeah, oh,
oh
yeah.
my God, by
Gosh,
quarter,
no, that's
really?
horrible. That's horrible usability here. So yeah, but at least that works. I mean, if you can figure out that you can input your values manually, then it works. It calculates the value. So
Yeah.
that's as simple as it gets. That's a program that probably my 10-year-old could write in her spare time. But
She
yes,
needs to write a better one.
yeah, she probably would be better off writing something more usable. Perhaps a
Yeah.
drop down where you could select the typical dosage, or just let people enter something manually without this type of input, because that's a
Oh,
horrible type of input for this sort of purpose.
yeah.
So yeah, this is, and that's actually, this is an affiliate site. So this is the kind of content that they are using to get out there into at least some SERPs related to their topic so that they could then bring visitors to their page where they
Yeah.
could offer the products that they are selling as an affiliate.
Yeah, and this is
Yep,
exactly what I've always said is that you need to have quality content that's useful, and then you'll sell your
yep,
affiliate products.
yep,
If you don't have useful content, if it's just the same old, you're never going to appear in the SERPs. You're just never going to break through. And
yep.
we saw with Bingo. Bingo's hugely
That's, yeah.
competitive, but people also ask, is your way in affiliates? So
Uh-huh,
don't be wasting these opportunities, especially UK
exactly.
affiliates. It's an opening market for CBD
Yep.
oil. So get in there, build a good site. This is a US affiliate site. We can do better in the UK, people. Come on.
And also, actually, what makes or breaks an affiliate is how you could be different, how you could be more useful than other affiliates.
Yep.
What makes you different from 1,000, 100 million, I don't know how many other affiliate sites working in the same vertical, trying to push the same products? Because
Yeah.
sometimes you go to a bunch of affiliate sites and they are all offering the same kind of stuff. And what's the difference? What makes me as a buyer buy from you and not from the next guy?
Exactly. And that's how you differentiate yourself. And both of us will say this till we're blue in the face, and some people
Yeah.
will not listen. But those who do, those are the ones who make the money.
Yep. And I mean, this calculator is probably not the most original idea here because quite a few sites apparently have this sort of content.
Mm,
Some as a table, some as an actual calculator, some better, some worse, some beautifully presented, some barely usable. But that is the most obvious type of content. If you can
yes.
find something that works for you in your vertical and you can smash it and you can really hit the spots that your users find as a pain point,
Yep.
something that causes them problems, something that they are struggling with, then you're going to win at the affiliate game, perhaps. Then you're
Yep.
going to get all the media coverage. You're gonna get links from just regular people blogging about stuff
Yeah.
somewhere. Maybe even some mentions in the social media, people sharing links to your calculator, and you're going to get your traffic and hopefully conversions.
Yep. Exactly. Of course, your traffic and conversions is going to depend on your on-site strength and UX and everything about it. So if you build a site that looks crappy, you're probably not going to convert. So make sure in doing something useful, you're also making it
Yep.
super easy for people to convert.
Mhm.
But you were mentioning links, and we did take
Yeah,
a sneaky peek at some of the
let's
top
not forget
performers.
we're not just literally critics for Google SERPs as an art form, but we are actual SEOs.
Yeah,
So what
absolutely.
we've done is we went to the CBD Oil UK SERP
Hmm.
and we've picked 5 sites which target specifically CBD oil as a product. We did not compare oranges to apples. We did
No.
not take stuff like Holland and Barrett into consideration because that will be a completely, totally, absolutely different link profile. But
Yeah.
we've taken a few others and we've used this wonderful tool by Majestic called the Click Hunter, one of my favorite tools, really. And this is an endorsement, although I'm not affiliated. Yeah. So, yeah, we've taken cbdoil.co.uk,
Hmm.
cbdoilsuk.com. So, there go our EMDs.
Yep.
We took cannabidol.com,
Yeah.
blesscbd.co.uk, and provacan.co.uk.
Mm.
And we wanted to check how many links they have in common. I mean, how are you building links in a vertical like this? This is still quite niche. This is still quite a young industry.
Yep.
It's only beginning to become legitimized in many countries. In
Mm.
the UK, it's still in sort of a gray status,
It's yeah,
but
I think it's slowly opening up. So we've got the medical clearance for some THC related CBD oils, and now we've got CBD oil sold as a supplement. So so that's the hemp flower, right? That's not a marijuana plant. It's a hemp plant, and that hemp plant has no THC.
Mm-hmm.
And so the oil that is extracted out of the hemp plant has no THC. So, as we saw in the questions, does it get you high? No, it won't, because it doesn't have the element anywhere in the plant. If
Yep.
it's been grown properly,
Yep.
that would make you high. And it's interesting here. One of the things that I said, oh great, it's the 2013, 2012 was a better year for wine. 2013's again. Look at cbdoil.co.uk, that our exact match domain.
Yep.
Look at how few links it's gotten. It's way up at the top.
Yeah, basically this is how to, for those unfamiliar with this tool, this is how to read these results. So basically the tool checks for the entire link profile of each of these domains and then compares those link domains, those link profiles, and finds the common domains in their backlink profiles. So basically this one is quite strong and it has not too many links. This one has even fewer links. So yeah, we could perhaps look at the actual Site Explorer reports for this one and know exactly how many links this one has.
Yeah, because it's ranking number 1.
Apparently just 127 domains.
Wow. That is incredible.
2,500 links of only 127 domains. That's not a lot.
Yep. It's
That's
incredible.
And in the meantime, it's ranking at least for something like CBD Oil UK.
Yeah. Which, as the search suggests.
I know not to trust this number, and I know that many people will now jump into our comments. Yeah, here's hoping that at least somebody is commenting. Yeah. And say, oh, don't you know that this number doesn't really mean anything? Yeah, it doesn't, but still, if you're looking for something like this and just see just measly 2,700,000 results, you kind of understand that this is a bit more saturated than this.
Yes, yeah.
At least as a comparison, at least as some relative measure. I know that this will change if you keep going till they stop, and they will only show you the first 1,000 results at the most anyway.
Yeah, sometimes only 500.
Yes, sometimes even less than that. But I mean, this is quite competitive. That's what we're talking about. This is quite competitive, and yet only with 127 linking domains, you can manage to rank at number.
That's pretty hot. And I think when we were looking as well, though, on the front page, Blessed, that we were looking at because it was such a cute name, they have a lot of links, but they're stuck down at the bottom there.
One of the top domains, at least out of these 5, in terms of the number of links. They have the largest link profile.
Yeah.
But as for the common links, one site, which is Coupon Medical, has links to all 5 of these sites. This is how you read it. There is the graph showing you the intersections in their link profiles in this graphical visual form.
Yep.
But here is the table with the first 10 results, first 10 matching domains, showing you the matches. And then how many links from this domain each one of these domains has. So cbdoil.co.uk just has 1 link from this one. cbdoilsuk.com has 6 links from different pages of this domain. Cannabis has 10. Bless CBD has 2. And Provacan has 4.
Yeah.
So this is how you read it. And then also the next one, there's a bunch next. Well, the other 9 domains in this top 10 only link to 4 out of 5 of these domains. So this, for example, does not link to cbdoil.co.uk, but links to every other domain in our 5 domains that we're checking.
Yep.
BestCan links to everything but cannabidiol. Yep. Vaporizers.pl. Look at this. This is probably some Polish affiliates. Perhaps all of these are affiliate sites by the looks of this. So basically, the affiliates, this is what we were talking about. The affiliates are promoting the same products. So
Yep.
what makes you different as an affiliate? Why would I, as a shopper, buy from you and not the next guy? This is important.
Exactly. And
So
I think
yes.
that's what makes you also a brand. Think about if you bring something new to the party, so to speak, that's what differentiates you as a brand. You can make yourself a brand by
Mhm.
offering really useful information, have a nice logo. For heaven's sake, go to fiverr.com even and get a logo, but get a nice logo
Mhm.
and make it look good. Because if we look at the difference between those two calculators we found, one of them was definitely with the water drop, definitely old Microsoft Paint job there
Yeah.
versus the cartoon fiverr.com looking logo. So it doesn't take much money to get a decent looking logo. And if you spend the time on your content, you might as well spend your time on a little bit of branding for your domain too.
Yep. So branding is important because at least it will let people remember you. It will
Yeah.
make you memorable and stand out, perhaps. So yes. Uh, Talking of blessed CBD, make no mistake, these SERPs are very, very, very competitive. So
Yeah.
here we are looking at the organic ranking history for the term CBD oil UK in the UK SERPs at SpyFu. Why SpyFu? Because compared to the other options, and we have checked both Systrix and SEMrush, they are the best at tracking this particular vertical. Because any tool is biased by one of the things that it's biased by is how well they cover a certain vertical. If they just do not track the majority of keywords in your vertical, then probably they will not have the complete picture for your vertical.
I
So,
should say though, for this vertical for CBD oil, I should say SEMrush did have a lot of keywords here that they were covering. So with SpyFu and with Systrix, they didn't have as big a bucket.
mhm.
When I was looking at, because I took a peek at SEMrush while we were doing this, and SEMrush had a few hundred in the UK that they were tracking, whereas I think we had 90 something
Yeah,
in
for
here that
blessedcbd.co.uk, this one says that it's ranking for 608 organic keywords.
that's
And
it. Yeah.
and SEMrush had what?
I think it had 300 in the US, 160, oh, sorry, 166 in the US, 307 in the UK
So yeah,
over the
still
last.
quite a decent
Yep.
coverage, but this one appears better.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So yeah, this is what we looked at. The top 10 for CBD oil UK. This is just over the last year. I think this is relatively new for them to track because if you
Yeah.
switch to 2 years, they will not even have, I mean, even if you switch to 50 results, they will not have information before January 19th. So I think they only started tracking in the last year or so. So we switch back to one
Well,
year.
to be
And basically
fair, it
this,
wasn't really a thing.
yeah, this is our top 10, and you see sites, domains coming and going, coming and dropping, coming and dropping. And if you look at top 50, even in the
Yeah.
top 50, there's quite a lot of movement here.
Yeah.
So
A lot
our
of
friend
people just
Bless
aren't
CBD
sticking around.
is this purple line.
Yeah. And you can see it wasn't a consistent rise to fame
Yes.
on
And
CBD
recently it
oil.
has started doing really, really well, which is something that we can see here.
Yeah.
This is this little bump that we are probably seeing somewhere around here.
Yeah.
So yeah, this, and then where it starts growing consistently is this growth line.
Yeah. It
This
looks like
nice,
just after Christmas. Wasn't there a
yeah, this
a
nice.
Google Core update around March?
I don't know. Maybe it's something that they have figured out how to do really well at that point.
This is true.
Yep.
There was a Google Core update in January, though. Maybe they got some benefit from that.
Perhaps, or perhaps not. Perhaps that's something unrelated to the actual. That's just something they are doing on their own. It's not
Maybe,
always about updates.
yeah, maybe it's just they're doing something really clever.
Yep, yep. And we're not outing what.
We're
So
not
yeah,
saying anything.
we're not.
But they
We're,
did have a really cute name, so we did take a look at them.
yeah, and this is a memorable brand actually. This is quite nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is not an endorsement. This is just something that we are seeing in the SERPs. We have not used their products, so
Yeah.
we can't really vouch for them or anything.
No. And
Yeah.
that water splashy picture with
Mhm.
the product in it, that is not uncommonly done in post-production. So it's not that they've spent $1 million on their graphics.
Yep. Yep. Well, basically, reading through their site, they appear to be just a family-run business.
Yeah.
So probably no large budgets here or something. So yeah. Right. So this was it for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it will help you make the right decisions for your own sites, be it affiliate sites or brand sites. And like I said, we are SEOs. Like we've said many times before, we are SEOs, but we are not your SEOs. And there's a disclaimer. Just the fact that we are saying something works does not mean that you will necessarily need to start doing that for your own sites, because we do not know your particular vertical. We do not know your particular situation, how risk averse or not you are.
Mm-hmm.
So just because something is working does not mean that you should overthrow your entire SEO strategy just because you've heard us mention this on the show on YouTube.
Absolutely. We are not a certain person in the digital marketing sphere that expects you to do whatever they say just because they say it. And of course, you've seen us. We've used a whole bunch of tools, and off camera, we used a ton of tools. So we did use Systrix. And as you've seen us use Systrix before, we did use SEMrush. And you've seen us use SEMrush before. We did use Majestic this episode, and we did use SpyFu this episode. So we're not just using one tool either. So, and your brain is the most important tool. So
Yeah.
when you're talking to an
It's
SEO
not
or
about
doing
your
it yourself.
tools, no matter what tools you are using.
Yep.
Any tool is only as good as the brain of the person using it. Yeah, and
Exactly.
skills with that tool and what they can make out of the information that they are getting out of the tools.
Exactly.
So
So
yeah,
hopefully you'll subscribe to our channel now, right? You're subscribing right now. You're pressing the button.
do it. Subscribe, because next week we're gonna have more interesting episodes.
Absolutely. And if you figure out who it is, don't out them in the comments, please.
Yep.
Just let them do their thing for a while and just smile quietly to yourself and think, yes, I found it. I found the advertorial.
Let it be our little secret.
Absolutely. So until next time on the SERP Show, I'm Judith Lewis.
And I'm Julia Logan,
And
and
we will
we'll
see you
see you
next
next
time.
week.